What if the fact that you are watching this right now is not a coincidence at all? What if you didn't find this video? What if this video found you? What if somewhere beyond the algorithms, beyond the notifications, beyond the random scroll of your thumb at this exact moment, on this exact day, someone was watching over you and said, now, show it to them now. They're ready. Think about that for 1 second. You could have been anywhere right now. You could have been watching something meaningless. You could have been distracted. You could have been asleep, but you're not. You are here, eyes open, heart beating, and something you cannot fully explain made you stop. That something has a name, and that name is Allah. What if Allah has been trying to reach you for months through that uneasy feeling at night, through that emptiness that success couldn't fill, through that random memory of a prayer your mother used to make, and this right here, right now, is His latest attempt? What if He never gave up on you, even when you gave up on yourself? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share in the next few minutes might be the most important words your heart has heard in a very long time. And I genuinely believe Allah wants you to hear every single one of them. Don't scroll, don't skip. Just, what if the most important conversation of your life has already begun and you didn't even realize it was happening? Right now, in this very moment, as your eyes move across these words, as your heart sits inside your chest carrying everything it has been through, the struggles you haven't told anyone about, the prayers you whispered in the dark, the mistakes that replay in your mind like a film that never stops. Right now, something extraordinary is taking place. Allah is talking to you. Not to a crowd, not to a category of people, not to the religious ones or the perfect ones or the ones who have it all figured out. He is talking to you individually, personally, with full knowledge of everything you have ever done, everything you have ever felt, and everything you are desperately hoping for. And the fact that you are here, reading this, feeling whatever it is stirring in your chest right now, that is not an accident, that is an answer. Think about the last time you felt truly at peace, not just distracted, not just busy, not just entertained enough to forget your problems for a moment, but genuinely, deeply, quietly at peace. If you're struggling to remember, that's important information, because we live in a world that has perfected the art of noise. There is always something demanding your attention. A notification, a deadline, a drama, a distraction. The world has become so extraordinarily loud that most people have forgotten what silence feels like. And more importantly, they've forgotten what silence reveals. Because in the silence there is a voice. Not an audible voice, not something you can record or capture, but something your fitra, your original God-given nature, recognizes immediately. It is the voice of your own soul reminding you of where it came from and where it is going. It is the whisper of truth cutting through the noise of everything fake and temporary that the world has sold you. And that whisper is saying one thing very clearly: you were made for something more than this. Now let me ask you something that might be uncomfortable. What is the condition of your relationship with Allah right now? Not the relationship you perform for others, not the image you project at family gatherings or on social media, but the real one, the private one, the one that exists between you and your Creator in the moments when no one else is watching. Is it strong? Is it growing? Is it honest? Or has it become, like so many other important things, something you keep meaning to fix but never quite get around to? Here is the truth that most people are afraid to say out loud. Millions of Muslims today are walking around with a deep distaste and spiritual hunger that they are trying to feed with everything except the one thing that actually satisfies it. They chase careers and it doesn't fill them. They chase relationships and it doesn't fill them. They chase entertainment, validation, success, comfort, experiences, and none of it fills them. Because you cannot fill a God-shaped hole with a world-shaped solution. The Quran said it more than 1400 years ago with a precision that modern psychology is only beginning to understand. Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest, not temporary relief, not momentary escape, rest, the deep, settled, unshakable rest that the human soul was designed for. And if your heart hasn't found that rest yet, if you are still searching, still restless, still feeling like something is missing, even when everything looks fine on the outside, then this message is specifically, directly, urgently for you. There is a concept in Islam that the secular world desperately needs to understand, and that many Muslims themselves have forgotten to appreciate. It is the concept of divine orchestration. Allah does not operate on coincidence. He does not make mistakes in timing. When Allah wants to reach someone, He doesn't rely on luck or chance. He weaves together the threads of circumstance with a mastery that is beyond human comprehension. He arranges the right word to reach the right ear at the right moment. He places the right reminder in front of the right person at exactly the point when their heart is soft enough to receive it. Think about the people in your life whose stories gave you chills. The person who was about to make a terrible decision and something stopped them at the last moment. The person who found a specific ayah of the Quran on the worst day of their life and it felt like Allah had written it just for them in that moment. The person who heard a reminder that addressed the exact struggle they had been hiding in their heart and hadn't told a single soul about. These moments happen because Allah is aware, completely, intimately, perfectly aware of where each soul is in its journey, and He reaches out accordingly. You finding this today is one of those moments. Now perhaps you are someone who feels distant from Allah. Perhaps the gap between where you are and where you know you should be feels so enormous that the idea of bridging it seems almost laughable. Perhaps you have made the same promise to yourself, I'll change, I'll get serious, I'll come back to my deen, so many times that even you don't fully believe it anymore. Perhaps the weight of your past feels too heavy. Perhaps you carry things in your chest that you are convinced Allah could never forgive. Perhaps Shaitan has whispered to you so consistently for so long that you are beyond repair, that you have started to wonder if maybe he has a point. Let me speak directly to that part of you right now. He doesn't. Shaitan is a liar. His oldest trick, his most consistent strategy, his most effective weapon against the human being is not getting you to commit the sin, because he knows that sins can be forgiven. His greatest weapon is making you believe that after the sin, the door is closed, that you are now in a category of person that Allah's mercy doesn't reach, that the distance has become permanent, that you are too far gone. This is a lie wrapped in the language of humility, because it sounds like you are being appropriately ashamed of yourself. But it is not humility, it is despair. And despair in Allah's mercy is itself a sin, because it is a rejection of one of His most magnificent attributes. Allah is Al-Ghafur, the most forgiving. Al-Ghafar, the repeatedly forgiving. Al-Tawwab, the one who turns toward His servants in mercy again and again and again. Al-Wadud, the most loving. Al-Rahman, the entirely merciful. Al-Rahim, the especially merciful. These are not just beautiful names to recite. These are promises. Binding, absolute, unbreakable promises from the Creator of the universe about how He relates to His creation. And one of the most breathtaking of those promises is this: say, O my servants who have transgressed against themselves, do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, Allah forgives all sins. Indeed, it is He who is the forgiving, the merciful. Quran 39:53. All sins, not most sins, not sins below a certain severity. All sins, for the one who turns back to Him. This ayah is not addressed to the righteous. It is addressed to those who have transgressed against themselves. It is addressed to the person sitting with guilt and shame and a history they wish they could erase. It is Allah Himself reaching directly into that darkness and saying, I am still here. I never left, come back. But here is where it gets even more remarkable. Allah doesn't just wait passively for you to return to Him. He actively pursues you. He places reminders in your path. He softens your heart at unexpected moments. He allows difficulties that strip away your distractions so that you are forced to confront what matters. He sends people into your life whose words land differently than words should. He orchestrates circumstances so perfectly that even the most stubborn heart eventually has to admit that something beyond chance is happening. There is a hadith that captures this relationship between Allah and His seeking servant with a beauty that should make every person stop and weep. The Prophet ﷺ reported that Allah says, I am as my servant expects me to be. I am with him when he remembers me. If he remembers me to himself, I remember him to myself. If he remembers me in a gathering, I remember him in a better gathering. If he comes to me walking, I come to him running. Read that again. If you come to him walking, just walking, imperfect, stumbling, uncertain, carrying all your baggage and all your questions and all your half-formed intentions, he comes to you running. This is your Lord. This is who is waiting for you. This is the relationship that is available to you right now, in this moment, without any prerequisite other than sincerity. Now let us talk about something that everyone in this generation needs to hear, because it is perhaps the most dangerous spiritual disease of our time. It is the disease of later. I'll start praying regularly when things calm down. I'll fix my relationship with Allah after I get through this difficult period. I'll start reading Quran when I have more time. I'll make tawbah seriously once I've sorted my life out. I'll get religious when I'm older. Right now I'm young. These sentences feel reasonable when you say them. They feel like wise planning, like you are acknowledging where you are without being in denial and promising a better future version of yourself. But there is a devastating assumption buried inside every single one of them. The assumption that you have later. No one who ever died suddenly thought they were going to die suddenly. Every person who drew their last breath without being ready was moments before. A person with plans. Plans for tomorrow. Plans for next year. Plans for the version of themselves who had finally figured it out and decided to get serious about what actually matters. The angel of death does not check your schedule. He does not care about your unfinished business, your unresolved relationships, your incomplete goals, or your plan to eventually fix your connection with Allah. When the time comes, and it will come, for every single one of us, without exception, the only question that will matter is what did you do with what you were given? This is not meant to frighten you into paralysis. It is meant to wake you up into action. The time is now. Not because tomorrow is guaranteed to be too late, but because today is guaranteed to be available. You are alive today, your heart is beating today. The door of tawbah is open today. Allah is listening today. What are you waiting for? There is something else that needs to be said because it applies to so many people who are watching or reading this. You might be someone who is going through something incredibly painful right now. A loss that has shattered you, a betrayal that has broken your trust, a failure that has crushed your confidence, a diagnosis that has changed everything, a loneliness so deep that even in a crowded room you feel completely alone. And in the middle of that pain, you might have asked the question that humans have been asking since the beginning of time. Why? Why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? Where is Allah in this? Does He even see what I'm going through? He sees. He has always seen. He sees every tear that falls in the dark. He hears every prayer that never makes it past a whisper. He knows every pain that you have never found words for. Not as a distant observer, but as a present, intimate, fully attentive Lord who holds the universe together and yet is somehow closer to you than your own jugular vein. The Quran says it with a directness that should permanently silence doubt. And we have already created man and know what his soul whispers to him, and we are closer to him than his jugular vein. Quran 50:16, closer than your jugular vein, closer than the pulse in your own neck, closer than you are to yourself. He knows, He sees. And here is what the Quran teaches us about the pain He sometimes allows. It is not abandonment, it is purification. It is not punishment, it is preparation. The difficulties that feel like they are destroying you are often the very experiences that are reshaping you into something stronger, deeper, and more capable of receiving His blessings. Indeed, with hardship will be ease. Quran 94:6, not after hardship. With hardship, the ease is not waiting at the end of the tunnel. It is right there beside you in the tunnel. You just have to have the eyes to see it. So what do you do with all of this? What is the practical, concrete, real-world response to the realization that Allah is talking to you right now? You answer, not with grand gestures, not with a complete overnight transformation that you know from experience you cannot sustain, not with the perfect version of faith that you feel you have to achieve before you are worthy of approaching Him. You answer with whatever you have right now, in this state. If you haven't prayed in years, pray one prayer today, just one, imperfect and broken and full of distraction. Do it anyway. Because that one prayer is a signal sent to the heavens that you heard the call and you responded. If you have wronged someone, reach out. An apology long overdue is better than an apology never given. If you have been avoiding the Quran, open it today. Even one ayah, even one line. Let His words land on your heart and see what they do. If you are carrying guilt, make tawbah right now, genuinely, with your whole broken, imperfect, struggling heart. And then believe, truly believe that He accepted it. Because He said He would. And He does not break His word. If you are in pain, talk to Him. Not a formal rehearsed supplication, though that is beautiful, but a real conversation. Tell Him exactly what you are going through. Tell Him what you are afraid of. Tell Him what you need, because He is listening. He has always been listening. And He responds in ways that are far better than anything you could have scripted. The most profound thing about Islam is this. It is not a religion that asks you to become perfect before approaching Allah. It is a relationship that asks you to approach Allah so that He can help you become better. The journey doesn't start when you have cleaned yourself up. The cleaning starts when you begin the journey. Every single one of the prophets, the greatest human beings who ever walked the earth, had moments of difficulty, moments of doubt, moments of tears, moments of, Ya Allah, I don't know how to go on. And in every single one of those moments, Allah answered, never abandoning, never rejecting, always present, always responding. That same Allah is your Allah today. The one who held Prophet Ibrahim through the fire, the one who held Prophet Yunus in the belly of the whale, the one who held Prophet Musa when an entire ocean stood between him and safety. The one who was with the Prophet ﷺ in the cave of Thawr when Shaitan would have had the believers believe that all hope was lost. That same one is with you. In whatever cave you are sitting in right now, in whatever belly of a whale your circumstances feel like, in whatever sea that seems to have no way through, He is with you. Before I conclude, I want you to do something. I want you to sit with this for just a moment. Put down the distractions. Quiet the noise and ask yourself honestly, what is it that Allah is specifically calling ME toward right now? Because this message isn't generic. Allah doesn't do generic. The very fact that certain parts of this landed harder than others, the very fact that specific sentences made something shift in your chest, that is information. That is Allah pointing a finger at the thing that needs your attention. Maybe it is the prayer you've been neglecting. Maybe it is the relationship you need to repair with a parent, a sibling, a friend, or maybe yourself. Maybe it is the habit you need to break. Maybe it is the trust you need to rebuild with Allah after something happened that shook your faith. Maybe it is simply the acknowledgement, finally, honestly, that you need Him, that you are not enough on your own, and that you are done pretending otherwise. Whatever it is not too late. And you are not too far. And He's not too busy. And the door is not closed. The door is wide open. And He is on the other side of it, closer to you than your own heartbeat, waiting with a mercy so vast that the human mind cannot begin to contain it for you to walk through. We begin with a question. What if the fact that you are here right now is not a coincidence? And I want to leave you with the answer. It isn't. You are here because Allah loves you. Not the perfect version of you that you are still trying to become. Not the cleaned up, figured out, sin-free version that you keep promising yourself you'll eventually be. The real you. The struggling you. The guilty you. The searching you. The you that showed up today. Wherever you are in your journey, with whatever you are carrying, that you. Allah loves that you. And this reminder, this exact moment is His way of extending His hand across the distance and saying, come, just come. Whatever you have done, whatever you are going through, whatever you are afraid of, come. Do not leave this moment unchanged. Do not let the feeling in your chest right now evaporate into the noise of the rest of your day without doing something about it. Even one thing, even one small, imperfect, sincere step toward Him. Because here is what He promised. You take one step toward Him, He takes 10 toward you. You come to Him walking, He comes to you running. And if that doesn't make you want to run to Him, run, not walk, then perhaps read this again and again until it does. May Allah make your heart soft and your path straight. May He replace your anxieties with certainty, your emptiness with His remembrance, and your distance with closeness to Him. May He accept your repentance before you return to Him. And may He make the journey back to Him the most beautiful decision you ever made. You are not alone. You were never alone. Allah is talking to you. The only question is, what will you say back?